Hi, we're going to show you our experience learning the Onewheel for the very first time, as well as sharing our experience, our falls, and some tips and tricks that we're picking up along the way that are helping us.
It's kind of like a fake it till you make it. If you feel like a badass and let yourself feel like a badass, don't let it feel your fear. If it feels your fear, it's going to hurt. Onewheel, and we literally just picked it up, so he's still learning it. I've only been on it once. He wants something hands-free to film and vlog with, so we thought, after doing a lot of research and seeing the comparisons and the different videos out there that are comparing boosted boards to Onewheels, and everybody's saying Onewheels made them much happier.
Busted my ass one time.
Yeah, he busted his ass once, but who hasn't? So after looking at a bunch of different reviews, a bunch of different options, comparing the boosted boards to the Onewheels, and seeing people who have jumped from boosted to the Onewheel, seeing different vloggers and videographers and how much they love the Onewheel, we decided to take the leap and get a Onewheel. So this is what it looks like so far.
One of the main reasons I really wanted to get this Onewheel was because I was primarily looking at it as a filmmaking tool. And when combined with your other camera gear and your gimbals, you can get some really dynamic and fluid shots that you normally wouldn't be able to. Not only is this a cool toy, but I'm also using it for transportation, and it's an awesome filmmaking tool as well. Now I'm gonna do what Mia did. First day with the Onewheel. Still a little tricky getting used to this. Going over this curb. Come on, get through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just about trusting the board. But here in my new or soon to be city, hopefully, we're just chilling. This is super fun. I can get on board with this. This is like the ultimate like vlogging device, I would say, just because of how convenient it is to be able to have your arms free compared to a scooter, especially once you get a little bit more confident with this thing. Which again, this is only still like, I'm still in hour one of being on a Onewheel, and I don't really have much experience with like a skateboard. Let's try that. So it's still a little sketchy getting off. I think this is still worth the premium, even though it's a little more expensive, but there isn't really much competition. There aren't any other products that really do what this can do. I think one of the things for me that I'm noticing right now when I'm beginning to learn how to ride this thing is the side-to-side roll of the Onewheel. It just kind of goes from side to side, and you can kind of feel the wheel kind of moving underneath you, which is a weird sensation. And it's one of the things that I'm trying to compensate for and also trying to get used to that's a little bit weird right now. What did I do? The second I fell, I laughed. I'm like, look, I did my first fall. Like, I was expecting to fall.
He's had it for 5 minutes. It's a learning experience, and you can't expect to get it right away. And you can't expect to use it to its fullest capabilities the second you get it. It's going to be really great to see the progress that we make.
And she makes a really good point there. I think you definitely want to learn this at your own pace and not try to rush into anything too fast. One of the biggest things for people that probably cause their injuries early on is when they're trying to push the board too quickly past their experience level, and it applies to any action sport or even motorcycles. When I used to learn motorcycles, I mean, you don't want to jump to like a 1000cc bike right away. You want to gradually work yourself up.
These two sensors, so one on this side, one on this side, that detects weight.
Yeah, so...
And it won't go if...
In all the videos I've seen, no one's actually explained that.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of different light indicators, weight on either side of these white dots, and the board actually won't activate unless you have weight on both sides.
So this would be the front of your board, and
right.
you would use your dominant stance forward this way. This is only Mia's second time on the board, and the first time she was only on it for maybe 30 seconds.
I'm scared.
Let's follow her. Whoop. So that's kind of how it was for me, like the first couple times as well, and it still kind of is. You're comfortable slowly getting off it, even though you know you're about to bail. Yep, there you go. Just learn to give into it. But see, I think that's good, because even though like it went crazy at the end, you were still able to...
Yeah, I got a little cocky. I was going really fast for me. I decided to lean into it. Really great thing about this so far is that the second there's a change in the weight or the balance, it either compensates for you or it stops, which I guess can sometimes throw you off, but to me it's really helpful because it's not like a regular skateboard where if you bail off a skateboard or if you fall off a skateboard, your skateboard can go flying into traffic, and it's much better to get off safely.
Even though you're inevitably going to maybe crash a couple times, especially if you don't have any experience like on a skateboard or any kind of riding board like that, even though that is going to probably happen to you, it's reducing like the damage that would happen because it's, again, slowing down or trying to rebalance a little bit, like coming down.
It's definitely getting easier every single time I get on it, so it's pretty cool.
You're going to be teaching me shortly.
Look at this dude with his boosted board. What's up, dude? Cross the street for the first time.
Careful around people. Careful. There you go. There you go. Did Mia just cause a traffic?
No, that wasn't me.
a traffic.
Did I cause a traffic?
This might be a good place to try it out around. I wouldn't try this curb though. This lip. How does that feel, going over that?
No different, really.
One thing with the scooters is bumps like that, you definitely feel a lot. Oh, and she just kind of came down, but nicely.
It's definitely getting easier every single time. So you can see it light up as soon as his weight's on it. And there it goes. It balances for you.
Tied in with what I was saying earlier is that every time you jump to a larger bike, whether it's 50cc to 150cc or larger, it was the same thing for us as well. Even going from like a push scooter to an electric scooter, you have to get used to that kind of power difference there, understanding how powerful your motors are so your wheels don't spin out, how quickly it'll accelerate so you don't feel overwhelmed by it. And with that, it's a good idea to start in the beginner and slower mode on the one wheel, just so you're not overwhelmed by its speed and it's not going too fast for you and it's not accelerating too quickly for you. Anything that you can do to gradually work your way up with the power so you feel more comfortable with it, but at the same time, you're going to be gradually learning up with it. You'll see us both doing a bunch of loops around this same little park area here. It's good to find a little course that you can just freely go around, not a lot of people near you, not a lot of obstacles or things you can crash into, just kind of an open area. The other cool thing about this place is that in addition to being vast, you'll notice that there is the difference in terrain a little bit between the flat areas and the rougher tile. And again, that gets you more comfortable and more confident on the board because you can go from a smooth patch to an area that requires you to be a little more confident in the balancing of the one wheel. This is your first fall? We're both even as far as falls, but what do you think caused your fall?
the speed and the way in which I was leaning, I couldn't give the board time to like counterbalance me.
As she's doing that, I'm going through the app, just looking through the instructions on the app on how to do it. Honestly, it's like trial and error, and yeah, you do have to kind of fall a little bit to get used to it. Just in the, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes of riding. Yeah, just keep doing that a bunch.
I'm trying to learn how to stop smoothly.
Come to zero, let it like be balanced when you're like doing it, and then just lean back. So just do a loop around and try it. Like a lot of other things, it's just practice, practice, practice. Again, what was great about this location, we just had the opportunity to ride around in circles at our leisure without worrying about bumping into people or bothering other people. So we could just practice our technique. The other cool thing is when one of us was riding, the other person was watching. So we kind of had like a coach, if you will. As each of us either gained more experience or looking at other instructions, we could kind of watch and critique the other person to help them get a little bit better. So that would be my other tip. Try to ride and learn with a buddy at the same time. It's just a lot easier in my opinion. I think you both will end up learning a lot faster. You're supposed to lift your heel, not your toe. Okay.
Lift my heel.
There. I'm sure that's gonna get getting used to too, but that seemed a lot smoother. That was your most finesse stop.
It's setting me down. So that's the thing, you just kind of have to let the board do its thing.
Mia's gotten a little cocky and feels like she can now move up to the videographer state and start filming herself. Good luck, Mia. I mean, one of the reasons I got this was in hopes of, again, using it as a filmmaking tool, but I don't think I'm going to do that for at least a week. This is my first time going off that ledge that I said about 10 minutes earlier. I don't think we should go down that. But after I got a little bit more comfortable, I started riding outside just the interior of that park area. I started riding more on the sidewalk loop of it. After doing that a couple more times, I decided I'd try to approach that ledge. It was only about maybe like 3 inches, so it was nothing huge.
You really have to, it really has to be an extension of yourself. Like, you have to just use it fluidly.
At this part here, I'm just demonstrating that even when I'm completely still, it's not incredibly hard to just keep the board balanced with just a little bit of practice. Kind of rolling back and forth like this, so I can imagine like either being at a stoplight, it will also be I'm fighting it.
Well, you gotta let it, because that's how it breaks.
Yeah, but just like this, it's not too bad. I can feel it's balancing itself. Another weird thing is like when you don't, especially in this learning phase, if you haven't done it for like a few seconds, it's almost like you have to relearn it. You haven't really developed that muscle memory quite yet. There you go, really nice. That was a good stop. Telling her go do a loop first and then come up with a little bit more speed. Go for the shallow part. Are you okay?
I didn't trust myself or the board, and then
What was happening? Did you feel like...
I fell?
Yeah?
I kept my foot there, which is stupid, so it kept going.
Sure.
I maybe not have gone fast enough, but it felt like I just hit the thing.
But it helps you, again, get more comfortable on the board, trusting it, and similar to like a skateboard, it gives you that sensation for a second when you drop off a curb or sidewalk or whatever, that it's just floating for a second. The board, like a lot of people say, just feels like you're kind of on a cloud. It's just a matter of, can you control that cloud? There you go. Coming down's a little bit easier, huh?
We're done for
the first day.
Right, for the first hour or so. It's definitely worth it. Thank you so much, guy we bought it from. You're gonna be carrying it though, because it's heavy, if we don't use it. It's definitely better than our scooters. Definitely lighter than the scooters and better on the subway for sure. Not that we're gonna take it, because now we have the Onewheel. I'm
looking into battery range extender kits. With those, like, you can get up to like 26 miles of range, and this is supposed to get like maybe like 10-ish. Right now we're gonna be riding back to the hotel. We're gonna charge it up, do a little bit more research, and then maybe later tonight after we charge it and do a little bit, we're gonna edit some videos and she's gonna do some work too. Maybe film like our second hour of riding this and see how it is. Follow our journey, learning how we ride these, our comfort with it, and what we're able to do with it as we, again, become more one with the Onewheel. Be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. In addition to doing tech and gear reviews like this, I also do a lot of focus on like Fujifilm camera reviews and a lot of cinematics and short films. I have a lot of cool projects coming up from the recent trip up here. But until the next one, guys, as always,